tell it's not Fausto just yet. He'll be on in just a moment, at least. Josh Levitan tagging in at Cyber Trading U here. Great to have all of our students and members just joining us here live right now. I see Kathleen, Lynn, and Randy. I saw George, Leda, Bill. Got all of our students right now in chat on YouTube right now. And hey, if you're new right now to our stream, new right now to our YouTube account right now, new YouTube channel, at Cyber Trading U is the handle on the lower left right there. Be sure to hit the follow, subscribe button down below. Be sure to join us each and every weekday as well. But this is more of a special stream. We have a lot going on here this afternoon, actually. Here, let's jump right to our live trading platform right now. I'll show this here, actually, set my fat face. No, to begin at least here, we have a couple of day trades that we're focused on going into the market close. If you're joining us right now, we also have a lot of important earnings to announce heading into the end of the day today. Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, a couple more as well, actually. And we'll preview even what's ahead for tomorrow. But with that said, let's start off with a couple of different day trades, at least here to begin. SLXN, it's up 132% right now. It's up a hell of a lot more than that in the last 48 hours. Actually, Rich, my friend, if you could actually zoom out on your chart, notice this here. And this actually ended up making such a big run all the way back from yesterday morning. This was 60 cents a share just about 48 hours ago, 36 hours ago, however long. But nonetheless, there leads you to ask, well, at what point does this begin to top off, right? So I even brought this up earlier, which I kind of regret because it's like higher risk. It's not something that I would want like everyone to be doing. It's something that you only need to be doing with good reason. But to try and short a small cap stock that's right near the highs like this, it's really not to your advantage, especially when the trend's as strong as this has been throughout the day today. But right around $3, a little over $3, I was expecting a decent resistance there. So I came off a coaching session with one of our students just earlier, going over their journal, going over a couple of trades from pre-market hours. And I come right into this move here as it's at that 310. I was saying right there, expect a top. I'm expecting a pullback here. And that actually could have been a decent short. But here's the issue, though. If it's up so much, if it's going to be less bullish, more bearish, then you should be seeing lower lows. So zoom in on the chart there, Rich, the 1 minute chart, because I want to show you from earlier today. This was at like 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1300, ended up popping higher. But from there, it truly never made a lower low. It truly did not break that mini support. It was building around 1:15 Eastern, continued actually to build and then moved up even more from that point. Very surprising, right? So it just goes to show, though, that even if you do have speculation that it could drop off, trend's still going up, right? And with that, I mean, maybe there could be a lot more left here heading into the end of the day today. If it's not today, maybe it's the after hours tonight. You never know with these things, honestly. You don't try and expect it, but, a little from the hip here. But go over to like RGTI, Rich, one of the quantum stocks. I don't think too many of us had expected RGTI back from, what was it, November time, December time, essentially, go from like $1.50. I certainly did not, because I'd still be in that trade, or I would have, been in the trade as it was at $20. But this ended up exploding, made a much bigger move than any of us could have ever imagined. You don't try and expect that. Don't hold your breath waiting for that move to happen, because very little does that move happen. So you're going to run out of breath there, right? So go back to that other one there, the SLXN. Whatever the news is out on that stock, nice push. The part about it that I do like is the fact that it has a good order book still. It has a good, iceberg out there on the offer, on the ask. I think Fausto will be doing one of those videos actually pretty soon about bid and ask, bid and offer. But otherwise, right at 330, you got about 21,000 shares there, even a little bit above that as well. So, we'll come back to this trade in just a moment, Rich. Go through the rest of them right now, though, quick. Just pour coffee just a moment. I'll try not to spill it. PAC, P-A-C-K. All right, so this one, we're hoping for a higher high. Just hasn't really pushed it yet. We got plenty of time for that to happen. Again, if you're joining our stream, keep in mind, we got plenty of earnings to come out with at the end of the day today. At 3:30 Eastern time, we'll talk more about Tesla, Meta, Microsoft. I know that Wolfspeed also has earnings later on this afternoon. So we're going to talk more about earnings as we near the closing bell. It's only 3:10. We have plenty of time left. So we'll go through our afternoon watch list at least here. Now head over to Apple, because more name brand. I know Apple is coming out with earnings pretty soon, but coming off the Fed meeting, they ended up, leaving the rates unchanged, right? So we normally don't expect a big trend out of the market right once the Fed reaches their decision. You got our guy main event Jerome Powell always saying things that could spike the market. That guy loves the spotlight. We know that. It's a joke, but it's just to say at least Apple heading into this afternoon, it had a pretty good trend. So for what it's worth, it held above 238. It broke over it. It held over it, and now it's trying to make that higher high up towards 240 probably. 239 next. But actually, Rich, do me a quick favor. We show this every now and then inside our live trading room. Show our level 4, show the book map here, and load up Apple when you can here. We'll likely see a larger sell order, larger resistance up top there off that 240 price level. All right, there we go. As expected, right? Out there all from the morning, all from the afternoon, about 52,000 shares sitting out there. So that's where I say, like, hey, if it's going to at least flip 238 from resistance into that support, it might just blow right over 39, make its way up to 40, depending on how the market shakes out today. All right, so real quick, let's actually just go full screen here for right now. There we are. My face will probably break your screen in a moment if I keep it that way. All right, always self-deprecating. So let's keep it moving at least. So we'll pull back from Apple. Let's go over to a couple more from our watch list there. Let's check out Bloom, BE. More of an energy stock. It was doing okay at first, but it's definitely slowed down. $22 stock. We've seen it do really well in the past off earnings, off certain news, whatever it might be. Clearly not making that type of pop that we'd want at this point, but let's get to a trade, Rich, that actually I told all of our students here, Lynn and Randy and Leda and Michael and Margaret, all of our students. It's like, we're not going to put this on our main list just yet. I'm in it. I told you I was in it. I jumped in it literally during the meeting that we have inside our live trading room, the trading floor, I should say. Go over to JetBlue. So I'm in on this trade right now, right off of 579. 580 is my entry currently. Looking for a squeeze up higher. We had a resistance yesterday at 633. So if you want to put a fat line there, Rich, if you can, 633 on JetBlue. Now, this ended up getting squashed like a bug yesterday off of their own earnings. So I think they lowered guidance. The airlines didn't really do too well off their earnings, did they? Even United Airlines, they beat their earnings, but they tanked the same day and they broke lower, I believe, the following. American Airlines lowered their guidance. JetBlue got squashed. So basically, and pull up Bookmap right now as well for this one. But, it's making a much better push now at this stage. I wanted to kind of put this on the B list to begin, even though I'm in it. It was more speculative, even though the level is pretty strong. I was more hopeful. So pull up Bookmap here if you can, and go back to even yesterday if you can there. Nice pop right now, obviously. Add a little bit more data. Probably take a minute there. You added too much there, Rich. You added too much. Okay. It's going to take a little bit of time. But there was a massive spike of volume, at least yesterday afternoon, exactly at the price 579. It was more towards like 3 o'clock, 2:45 Eastern time, pretty much 24 hours ago. So just zoom in on that there, Rich, when you can, like yesterday. Go towards like the afternoon session there, just like from like 3 p.m., 2:45 p.m. It was more towards 579. So it was pretty much right there at that exact time, right? Yeah, I'm not crazy, right? I speak the truth. No, it's just to say at least that was nuts. That was a massive spike of volume at the time. And it ran up okay. We were looking for it to move up towards that iceberg at $6.33. Didn't get the job done. It didn't like halfway there and then came back down. So basically pull back your Bookmap now, Rich. We're looking for that better push. We want to see this make a move up towards 633. Better now than ever, right? And plus, we're off to a hell of a start already from our 579. So let's see. Who do we got here? Good afternoon to Margaret, one of our students just joining us here right now. Margaret G. Great to always have her a part of our live trading room, as well as the stream here as well. Great to have Margaret. Grant. Give Grant a quick shout out right now. Good afternoon, all. I hope that you could all enter and learn with us. Oh, absolutely, Grant. Looking forward to having all of our members here just joining us back inside our live trading room, perhaps tomorrow as well. All right. And again, if you're new to our stream here, just make sure to hit the follow, subscribe button. It would help us out, help you out as well. You better learn before you could earn. But at CyberTradingU right there. Now, with that said, we'll see if we can get JetBlue to squeeze up higher. Let's do one more run through our list, and then we'll talk a little bit about some earnings here this afternoon, what we're focused on. Of course, the Mag 7s, but we'll talk a little bit about what to expect out of financials, what the analysts think. And then on top of that, just going through the charts and Bookmap. That's our forte here at CTU. We follow the big money. So I'm just scanning around here, even Rich, first. I don't really see much, so we're going to keep to our list here. Go back to the SLXN. I'm just checking on that. Right? So, it goes to say, like, you might have an idea about going counter trend, but if it's not making lower low, lower highs mean literally they're worthless. They're not worth anything unless it makes that snap of support, that lower low. And from there, it's got to flip that support into resistance. Got to keep the train moving. But, just to say there, though, it had a good resistance, but it came back up. Now it's looking to go higher. So, let me ask any of our students right now. I see inside our chat room, our trading floor chat room. I see Bill, Luis here right now, Lynn and Randy. So George just a moment ago. So Andrea just before. Kathleen there as always. Anyone in on this trade currently? The SLXN has a good order book. I feel like we're on the top of the roller coaster still. Don't get me wrong. So even though I'm not bearish, I'm certainly not like jumping out of my chair bullish. It's up 500, 600% from yesterday. But it's got a good order book, right? So that makes it much more tolerable than otherwise. Makes it a hell of a lot more tolerable than SGN or some of the other crazies out there that ran well earlier, but once they're done, they're done. We don't want to be a part of them, especially if they've got 10 cent, 12 cent, 15 cent spreads. So Lynn and Randy, you're in right now? Cool. Very nice. See if this can make a push here coming up in just a moment. All right. So, you know what? We're going to look to jump towards some earnings here right now, folks. So just go to Tesla, Rich, to begin. We're going to just talk about Tesla initially here and just make the daily chart big. Just blow up the daily chart all the way. And just make it over the matrix. Just go over like should. Yeah. All right. So what happens if Tesla has inline earnings and the street wants much more? What happens if Tesla has bad earnings either way? Or if they have inline guidance and they wanted guidance raised, or if they lower guidance, that would be the nail in the coffin, honestly. If they lower guidance for any stretch of the measure, for whatever reason, I don't know anything about it. First, it's just to say, if they were to, lower high right there. Look at that off of 425, 430-ish, whatever that most recent peak is. Right above my ugly mug here, our webcam here on stream, just right above that, you see that most recent peak. And then from there, came back down. So it's looking pretty bearish on the very short term. It's still holding higher lows, but it looks like it's hanging on by a thread. So if they have underperforming earnings, if the street wanted more and they're not getting it, if it's just in line, listen, I've been there. I may as well show my story right now. If you're on YouTube, Facebook Live, for any of our first-time attendees, I've been with Fausto Pugliese and Cybertrading University for over 10 years. My sob story, if you want to go to it, Rich, go over to AMD. Yep, I'll mention it. I don't care, no ego. So make this like a monthly chart. Make it a monthly, because this was a long while back when I was a stock market baby. All right, so pretty much story goes as this. AMD was very bullish over time, dating back to 2015, 2016. They were like $1 even before that. I ended up jumping on them as a swing trade at $9. It went up to 15, 16, 18, or whatever it was. Really good move at the time. Started to pull back a little bit. I had way too many shares in that position at more than I needed to. It was a day trade size position. That was a swing trade. It was over 1,000. It was 1,500 shares. It was myself and a friend at the time that we were splitting a joint account on. Not the best idea. Never really go into business with your friends. Anywho, just to say here, they reported inline earnings. I remember this like the back of my hand because it was the first bad experience I ever had with any real sort of big trade I was in. And it was just inline earnings. The street wanted much more, and they got squashed like a bug, dropped 10% instantly. Basically wiped out almost all the gains that I had with my friend. And you live and you learn, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's certainly what could happen at Tesla. Now, just turn back to Tesla here, and we're just going to go back to our normal setup here. Actually, keep it like this for a second. What's the low on that candle, Rich? The red candle, if you were to say that bottom before it bounced back up there a little bit most recently, like maybe like probably like a month ago. Yeah, basically right there where your cursor is. Yep, that candle. What's the low on that candle? 173. Put a line right there, or 373. Geez, my eyes. 373. That's where we have that wick. So, it's only just one little bottom there at the time. It should be 373. Yep, right there, exactly. See what happens. All right. Now, outside of that, though, for a stock as priced as Tesla is, 300, 400, $500, whatever it could be, I would just focus on the $50 price levels, namely 50, 100. So 350, 400, 450, etc. Psychologically, that's where we're expecting to find the big orders anyway. That's because normally that's where we see them. So, Rich, with that in mind, pull up Bookmap right now for Tesla. Let's go into the heat map right now. This is just on the intraday basis here. So you always got to observe this every day, especially if you're doing swing trades, especially if you're doing options long term, whether it's like at more further dated options or even leaps. But just you always got to check it day to day. So zoom out a little bit, or like on the price axis, I mean there. Pardon me. Oops. Sorry about that. Trying to move my camera around here a little bit. All right, so let's see if we can even do this. Let's get the full screen showing. There we go. All right, a little bit cleaner. So scrunch the price axis in. That's what I'm asking. So we see more prices. We see more prices. Just scrunch the price axis in there. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm asking. All right, 380. You got a big iceberg order on the bid at 380. And then after that, you got to look really all the way down. There's definitely some liquidity in between. Don't get me wrong. Got some orders in there. But like after 380, your next big one's not until 350. So now zoom in a little bit there. Let's just kind of, I'm sorry. I'm wording this wrong to you now, I think. Let's expand the price axis, Rich. There you go. All right, so it's 176,000 share order out there. So it's actually a pretty decent size. Let's break out the old calculator right now. Let's see if I could even get this right. It might not even pop up on my phone. It might be too big of a number. So what is that? $380 times 177,000. Pardon me, I'm going to round up. $67,260,000 worth of money right there. So if our whole philosophy is to follow the big money, then I'd certainly say keep your eyes out on that 380 level for Tesla heading into the after hours later on today. Now, Rich, I'm trying to word this right here because it's probably a pain to kind of play a little charades here with you here right now. So I'm sorry. Move the heat map such that 380 doesn't show anymore. Like move the heat map so it actually shows the higher price levels, but not 380. I want to see resistance basically. So kind of like move the heat map and like play around with it. So you see like $400 and like it kind of makes it easier to see without 380 showing. I might need to take over here for a second here. This might be too complicated. All right, we're going to take over, Rich. We're all good here. I got you here. I got you here. We got you here. All right, so one sec. I appreciate your help, Rich. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you, Bill. Nice shirt. Thank you very much. Get more of them just for you. All right, so what do we got? I'm going to try and scroll up here, just trying to see resistance. So if it were to pop, right, 380 was our big support level. Where do we got bigger resistance? 400 as assumed psychological level, $400, about 41,000 shares there. 410, 420, 430, 440, 450. So I told you, it's like basically the $10 price levels there. Fives as well, but I would just go 10s pretty much. 380, 390, 400, even though there's not as much showing at these prices compared to what we have here at that 380. But basically that's where I would keep my focus going into the after hours here for Tesla. Now, while I'm at it, may as well make it easy for us, right, Rich? Let's go through the rest. Let's go through Apple. Geez, we have Apple on our afternoon list, not for after hours here. Let's go over to Meta. Meta next might be a little bit like quicker to go through, not because it's easier, but because actually there's just less big orders there out there for this type of stock. More expensive, and it actually has like less volume day to day. So $700 price level there as assumed resistance, but it shows anyway 25,000. So that alone's pretty decent. That alone's pretty big. That's by far your largest order out there for a little while. Even if it were to drop 10% here in the close, like let's say if they have underperforming earnings, where would we be able to find support possibly? So, 10%, 15% off of this number, you're kind of looking around $600, right? So you go all the way down here. Is there anything? Well, yeah, at $600 right there. 20,000 shares on the bid. So you got resistance at 700, support at 600. You would like to think that would make sense given these round Benjamin Franklin type numbers here, right? The round numbers here, $100 levels. Well, shows it point blank on level 4. So that's where I would keep my eyes, at least for right now. Now, if we're just looking at the charts, may as well show this here now at this point. All right, take the reins for a second here, Rich. All-time highs, right? Yeah. So tough to work with this chart just because they're at all-time highs, historical levels right now. So there's no ceiling technically. That's where I would even furthermore focus on your assumed support resistance. In this case here, resistance at 700, 800 probably after that, and so forth. Nice trends, right? So that's something we could at least kind of mess around with for right now. You could even go back to October of 22. You really could. But let's just kind of work with this here for right now. Nice down wick. I'll kind of use that because it kind of started a nice move afterwards. This looks pretty consistent. I like what I just put up here. I don't know if they're going to wipe out all of these gains. Obviously, we'll see what happens coming up, after the bell. But this is where I could at least say we had a nice down wick here on this week. From there, it bounced up. What's interesting is at least the following week after here, it did gap down technically, but then spiked all the way up and closed, higher. But from this down wick to the next major kind of bounce down wickish area here, and then again. Now notice it broke the line here on this one, but strong enough to where it pushed back above it on the same candle and closed positive actually. And then from there, it took off even more. So this is where I'll just say, like, everything had going on with Stargate, everything going on with AI, and that Zuckerberg is one of the main leaders. Whether you're in the know or not in the know, you should know that Zuck and Elon Musk, they definitely have good vision and foresight ahead for the future in AI. Whether you like them or not, it's just to say that, hey, look at the company, look at the chart right now, right? All-time highs. It's only breaking higher. It's only been breaking higher. So, I would focus on this trend line at least, even if they do have bad earnings going into next week. Like, let's just say worst case scenario, they crap the bed right now. They have bad earnings. Then if the market does roll over with it, then I'd worry a little bit. But otherwise, that will probably continue to be support. And even if it does drop in the after hours today, who's to say that it can't bounce going into tomorrow, right? So it would break the trend line again, but that's just where it would bounce right back up above it. So that's where I'd keep my eyes on this trend line for right now for Meta. All right, hey, for any of our students here, Bill, Margaret, any of you folks right now, if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any stocks as well you'd want me to look at here as well, we got a little time before market close right now. We're almost at 3:30, but let me know if there's anything that you'd want me to look at here too. So give me a quick sec. Give me a quick sec to sip that coffee there. And also, again, just make sure to subscribe right to our YouTube channel, YouTube feed at CyberTradingU on the lower left. And, hey, at the end of this stream, at the end of today, if you're interested in joining us inside our live trading room, a couple of different options, a couple of different routes we could take you towards. Scan that QR code on the top left right there. Gives you free access to our live workshop that we offer. And then with that, you can go right down to the bottom, ctu.co/trial on. Oh, there he is. We got the man himself joining right now. We have Fausto jumping on. It's audio just figured out here in a sec. We'll be good to go. Fausto, what's doing?
Going good. I don't know what's going on. Some of the stocks that we had on.
One sec. I got you probably from the trading room side here.
Yeah, just mute that one.
There we go. We're good. All right. So I was just going over Tesla. I was going over Meta for a second, just with the charts, with Bookmap level 4, of course, too. What are you looking most forward towards here after the bell?
I'm going to try to do a slingshot. I'm going to see if I can get some of these stocks. It's depending on if the news wasn't too expected, put something ridiculous out of the money, see if I get filled. But I think this is probably the only, how can I say it, unpredictable earnings that people don't know what to expect. So we'll see how much they haven't been doing anything. I mean, even in the course of the day, I mean, Tesla is basically down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Tesla was a little wonky, at least going into the Fed meeting. Let me just show you this here quick.
I mean, the market's only down
right
like,
now, Fausto, if you can, just get your audio just in the trading room up. And just quick.
Oh, in the audio room. Hold on a second.
We got a lot of our members just with us here on YouTube right now, like Bill and Margaret Grant joining us. Normally inside our trading floor here on YouTube today. It's great to see.
All right, they should be able to hear me okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to sit back and wait. Some of the swing trades look like they took a little bit of it, went down a little bit. iBit's up pretty big. That's doing pretty well this morning. Palantir's up a little big. That looks pretty good, but I don't know. The Boeing dropped.
Ooh, nice pop on Bitcoin. Yeah, I know one of our students mentioned that just before. I think it was maybe Lynn and Randy, but I just had so much going on right at the beginning of the stream. So
yeah, we just got a lot of kryptonite resistance on iBit right around 61.
Oh, this is perfect right now. I'm so happy this is happening because it's been dancing around 100,000 too long right now on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
But finally, it's been holding better over it now, and I think we might get a good push soon. Good support. Hopefully get that pop. Like you said, we got a little more resistance to go there, and definitely reflects on the chart. Give me a moment. We'll get the book map even open for Bitcoin.
So we got Meta. We got the problem with these, they're not going to come out right at 4 o'clock too. We got to remember that sometimes they come out 4:10, 4:15.
You know what? Prepping up for this stream and like even next week, I was thinking about the one that is a pain in the ass that's like that. I think it's Apple, maybe. I got to double check. One of them's at like 4:30. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty
dinner.
late.
We got dinner to make. We got things to do. Yeah, Apple tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. They're announcing. So
Yeah, it's pretty late.
I don't know if we'll be around for that one.
Yeah. Well, we're here now, so we do this once in a while. Once a month, we do this big stream. But remember, everybody, if you're watching on social media, we do this live every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30. So, and on the top left-hand corner, you'll see a little QR code. If you take your phone, scan that QR code. We're actually broadcasting in our professional trading room. Our trading floor runs all day long with commentary. So if you want to come and if you like what we see, we're here all day. So we just do this live broadcast on social media just once a month. Yeah, there's nothing to really go on.
You can see on my screen, Tesla, they're at 407 today at least, so not too long after.
Did you realize we had a bounce on JetBlue?
Yep. So that is actually a trade I took just before, believe it or not. So
you did?
I didn't put it on the list because I was like, you know what, guys, listen, here's what happened. Let me show you what happened here. Yesterday afternoon, this was a pretty big level, like giant spike of volume. I went into level 4. I was like, I see this big, it was probably a dark pool. You'd probably call it a dark pool of sorts, or maybe an algo, but it ran up decent, right? So I was twiddling my thumbs throughout the afternoon, right? Like just a couple things happening. And then all of a sudden I just see it kind of like try and push up. I'm like, all right, let me see if I can get an entry. And it popped over it as I was in the meeting. I got my order filled, like as I was like talking about something else. I was like, guys, I don't know if it's going to go. Like, I don't know if it's going to push. I don't want to waste your time on it if it doesn't go. And then, of course, it went. So a few of us know about it, but I didn't harp on it as much as like some of the others. But nice, like when it like works out, but like it was looking like a slug for a little while. I didn't want to like fall in love with the same trade over. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, it was a huge iceberg order around $6 all day yesterday. So, somebody owns a lot of shares of it. What was it, like 375 or something like that?
Yeah, here I got on the YouTube stream right now. I have it up right now. I'll show you. It's
That from yesterday?
two. Yeah, there were two buyers there yesterday. Like
That was a
this
big
was
one. Yeah.
270,000, but this one, look at this. This was
Yeah.
831,000
Yeah.
shares.
It's a big ass one right there.
Got broken through. Bam. It's there right now. So, but this is like to me, it was just a day trade. I was just futzing around. I'm like, we'll see if it can go. But happy, but let's see if we can keep it going up towards like 630s here.
Mm-hmm. MSTX. Oh, God, I think got destroyed, huh?
Which one?
MSTX.
Oh yeah, the MicroStrategy ETF.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that. You like that because it does have good volatility. So if you know what you're looking for on Bitcoin and everything else, like you play the ETFs well.
I'm glad I got out of it, but I had the other one. I had MSTU, and that one got destroyed too. But a good thing I got out of that one. I got out somewhere around $13. I thought it was going to break and fill in the gap, but it didn't do it. I'll tell you one thing that you learn as a day trader is that when you break, if it doesn't go your way and you break that, what we call in the day trading community, the 30-second rule, you just got to hit the trigger and move on.
Man, and it's tough to accept and swallow that pill at first. And like I know that through you and learning the lessons I did, just thinking otherwise, right? We're all stubborn to a degree at first, and you just learn. Let's give a quick shout out, actually, Fausto. Our guy Alex, one of our diamond students here inside our trading floor, he just killed it on not MSTR, but Coin, another Bitcoin stock right there, Coinbase.
Oh, it's a nice move, Alex.
A few bucks right there, actually. If you're inside our live trading room, you'll be seeing that right there. But looks like Alex got in at like 288 and change, got out just under 293. Good exit because look at where it's at now already. So, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, nice little trade right there. You guys are on site and does some coaching with us. Did well on that one. Did you guys? It's kind of ugly though. It just came up. You didn't trade the DGNX, did you?
No, I didn't.
That thing's crazy. It's up about.
Yeah, I saw it during the meeting. I was like, is it going to continue? This thing was.
Yeah.
It's a new IPO, I guess, right? Like brand new from last week.
It's about, it looks like a week, less than a week old. Some crap like that.
Yeah, so we got about like 22 minutes until earnings come out. I just want to take a look because there's something I noticed here. It's like pretty cool. It just makes it simple, like for like you to kind of like lean on, be like, okay, this company good? Is this company like doing all right? Like on Benzinga here, it's just like they have these like analyst trends. It's pretty cool. You see like, who's been more bullish on what lately. And like, it shows like right here where my cursor is, comparisons with the sector, with the industry. So Tesla, of course, the leader in EV, we know that. It's like no brainer, but, it just shows relations compared to the rest of the sector industry. So, that will definitely work or be more effective towards like the smaller cap stocks and towards the stocks that aren't as Mag 7 that are like as obvious, like Meta here. Very bullish, grade, pretty good grade, 78.6. And that looks pretty good.
I'll do a screenshot here on level 4. Show some of the orders on Bitcoin right now.
You want to share your screen for a second? You can show that just for like a second or two. And
I'm going to make an alert. For some of you here, we post a lot on Telegram. So if you're on Telegram, we do a lot of posts on that. But I'm just going to post on my Telegram right now.
You know what? I can even show it here too a little bit. See if I can get it popping up on my Bookmap here. Yeah, like normally for me, like Meta's a stock that like is a little out of my price range. I normally don't think about it because normally I have my day trading brain on. But otherwise, even as a swing trade, I'll stick to like a Nvidia stock. I'll stick to like an Apple maybe. That's where I was like complaining too about Netflix. Like Netflix is just too expensive. I got to stay away from that.
someone was asking me yesterday if they should sell it. They took big hits on Netflix. I'm like, on NVIDIA. And I said, you know what? So it's just about the NVIDIA trade, not about the Netflix, but the NVIDIA. It's at the big support levels. If you are trading NVIDIA, I'll tell you, you got to be careful. It's got to hold here. Otherwise, you got some big issues around 115, but it's not looking too good with NVIDIA. It's another one out there.
Microsoft has a pretty good grade right now. It looks like from all the analysts, it's the highest grade out of the 3 that are reporting this afternoon.
Microsoft, another one on the long-term chart. It really hasn't gone anywhere. It's been hovering here between 400 and 450. 450 is a big resistance levels.
Yeah, it's been chopping around for a little while now. I don't know. It's almost like 6 months worth.
Yeah.
Really, since July. Wow. Doesn't look like that long when you have it zoomed out like this. So you're like, wow, it's actually a little while there. It's 6 months worth of time. So
you're going back far. Just within the year, it's like,
look at this trend just before you jumped on, Fausto. I was going over Meta and just like, that's been popping. But just looking at, you could even say the trend beginning from this bottom. But I have it from here. It's like as clean as can be. It's a pretty nice, hold off the lows.
I think, listen, I did a meeting on it. I don't know if anybody also here follows us on social media. I know we have some people right now logged in on Instagram and YouTube. I posted on all, but I did something about the buyout. If you saw the video that I said about Elon Musk was in talks with TikTok, so TikTok was sale when they turned it off. Meta doing great because basically it's a copy of Instagram. If you really think about it, TikTok is, so Meta is benefiting from it. So that's why Meta, if you really think about it, I posted that video, it was right around 600 or something like that. Right now it's almost at 680. So nice little move on Meta.
Look at the, I think that we showed it before, the heat map for Meta. Just when you look at it, it's like really around the $100 prices, 700 as resistance. Then if they crap the bed off earnings, if they don't have good earnings, you might possibly see 600. That's 10% off from where it's trading at. 10% is not unreasonable for an earnings move. So
I remember one day. I remember one day Meta dropped like 100 points. Do you remember that day? And was like, oh, look at that! It finally took a hit.
I remember. So I'm this a long time ago. It's like 2015, probably like 2015, 2016. I remember when you were looking at Meta or Facebook at the time. Of course, it was at $95 or something.
Was it that low?
I remember the price specifically because it was under $100. I was like, you were all about it for like a little while there.
That was like COVID.
No, it was before COVID. It was way before COVID. This is as I would say in my days, the OG days, the original days of it.
It was at 100 back in 2022 in September.
Oh, you know what? You know what's funny? It came on at 3:30. So we have a bunch of new members joining us here for the first time, right? So going over our thoughts for the earnings coming up ahead. We're talking about the Mag 7 companies. So I went ahead, Fausto. I already did this already, took care of this, dotted my I's, crossed my T's. I already went over the AMD story with them.
Oh, you told them about that?
I already covered it. We're already good. Yeah.
All right, then I won't bring it up.
We already did 5 minutes on it. We're good on it.
We're good with that.
just letting you know. Yeah, just letting you know we're good on the AMD story. I took care of it already. They know.
AMD never, it did great, and all of a sudden it just died. It's getting close to big support levels right around 100. So, it could be a good buy soon.
Yeah, really, they've been kind of stinking it up since really the beginning of last year. They hit a high, but like really from probably like April, May time, they're not making the push.
There are a couple of good cheapies moving too right now, by the way. BNZI did pretty well. And if you guys saw that one, the one we had this morning, the SLXN, that did great.
Yeah, that was a great move from earlier today too, and from yesterday.
Had a lot of shakes in the middle of the day. You could see, it was trading with it going down, up and down, like 25 cents. But if you got it at the right time, you're looking pretty good on that one.
It's been making higher lows the whole time, and even from here, just kept building up. And
do you still own JetBlue?
What was that?
You still own JetBlue?
No, well, yeah. Just a second ago, I said I got out on most of my position just a second ago here.
Oh,
just as we're in conversation, my reasoning was just I have resistance at 633, but it's like you can never go broke taking a profit. We're talking, we're moving around. Like I'm like, you know what? Let me get the hell out of most of my stuff right there, and just that's it.
Big seller showed up.
There's a lot going on right now. Oh, look at that. Nice.
Yeah, right there.
There you go.
Big seller.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Oh, my God.
See that?
Okay.
Is he getting filled?
Yeah, it's getting tested.
Is he getting filled?
That's a big seller. Right there at 626, the price.
That was over 200,000. Oh, look at this. Anki bought Meta at 119. You still have it? The Meta trade?
I mean, definitely within the realm of possibility, because like all these trades like just rocketed the last couple of years. If you're holding on in long term, like you're reaping all the benefits.
It's one thing I hate about the afternoons. It's not like the mornings. You know what I mean? The morning, like you're going into the open, there's always action. It's like, I hate afternoons because like we're 15 minutes away. And it's like literally like 15 hours.
Yeah. And especially it's like we're coming off the Fed day too. So there was a bunch of volatility at 2 o'clock and 2:30, but look at it. It doesn't mean that that's a good trend. Like this didn't go anywhere. So
A lot of people I spoke to over the weekend, like I met a bunch of hedge fund guys and stuff. That what they's funny. They still said the same thing. Like a lot of people are not doing as well as you think, on the hedge fund side. But they said like, but I heard the day traders doing pretty well. What we're doing because we're getting in and out of it. And I'm like, yeah, we do. We're doing. We always do okay. Very rarely we do. We don't do great. It's a job. You just make your day's pay. Just sometimes when you see a good swing trade, if you get in the right place, the right time, it does well. That is backing off a little bit right now.
Just inside our live trading room here, Lynn and Randy saying you'll find Fausto at Costco in the afternoons.
It's funny. I was just on an app. I was just on the Costco app. I got to buy something. Today's the last day of a sale on something. I'm a crackhead. I spent so much money. I got an email from Costco. They said, hey, because you spent more than X amount of money, if your $500 rebate check is more, so this is what you have to do. That's how much money I spend there.
That's funny. Well, between that and Amazon, you're an aficionado or you're an expert at both.
I learned how to be a little bit expert on that, but Costco, I mean, I spend so much damn money. It's the new 50. It's the new 50 club nightclub. That's not going down. I'm just shopping around while you guys are looking at these two stocks.
I gotta jump into a Costco at some point. Gotta get myself involved.
Yeah, Costco is a pretty decent buy around 900. Like I told I told you this guys a while ago. I went to go buy some. I got a new pair of glasses, and I was talking to the girl behind the counter because they don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's why we do the podcast. I'll get people from a different company. They just have to be traders, and they're all in the market. And they're like, "Wow, you must be doing well in the Costco stock." Yeah, because I saw her badge. It said working there since 2008. I'm like, "My God, you've been no. I'm sorry, 1998." I saw her. I'm like, "My God, you've been here forever." And you're in the glass department. They're not going to leave. They're making a fortune, but they don't know too much about the stock trading. But she was telling me that they're opening up new stores because they really don't have enough stores. And I think I told you this, that Brooklyn is like one of the most highest grossing stores in the country, which is crazy.
You know that with Costco, they're actually, I believe it's Costco, one of the two Costco PJs. They're building residential above their complex or above their stores.
Oh, yeah, that's what I need.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they actually are planning on doing that. I don't know which city they're starting off in, but that was like some report that came out last week or two. Good eye, though. You just brought up the iceberg on JetBlue. Like you just said that before and showed it. It's been dropping off since. So I got out on the last quarter of what I had, but I'm like, geez, look what happens once you have this big fat sell order showing up here.
Well, you know what happened? He showed up again. He pulled his order. It was 375,000 at 625. He was there exactly at 550. And obviously everybody saw him and he left. Let's drop it even more. Yeah, if you're listening online, traders, one thing that we kind of preach, very important here, is we look at the right of the chart, not the left of the chart as much, where most of you, 98% of you do, where we look at the orders that are in the future, and that kind of gives a sense of direction. That big seller just showed up at 615.
Right here. There we go.
Yeah. You can see it right here. Oh, you got yours? I got mine right here.
Yep.
There he is right there. 615.
Yeah, so everything should come out thankfully today at like 4 o'clock, maybe 4:07. The latest was Tesla, but we'll go probably to like 4:15, 4:30 and wrap up then. But probably be back tomorrow. I think that there's a bunch more out tomorrow aside from Apple. I think Amazon as well, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Rich, do you have that link that we post on our Instagram and stuff like that, or anybody, or X, whatever? Also, post on post it on our Telegram. That image of earnings that are coming out. By the way, if you sign up for Telegram, it's free. We don't charge you for it. Wrong window. You got to put it under always post those on the alerts.
What do we got here after the bell? I'll read them off as Rich is posting here in the room. But yeah, tomorrow afternoon I'm speaking here just out loud. Again, we're posting it in the room. But we got Apple, we got Intel, we got Visa. Honestly, it's really just Apple and Intel, and especially Intel. Intel's been the hot hand of late, hasn't it?
I think dog. I think it's an absolute dog. Hasn't done anything. I'm such a big fan of Intel. I told you I saw them. I went to a conference at the NASDAQ Center, and they were doing this conference with Adobe, and I was just ripping them apart. I'm like, "What are you guys doing, man? You should be NVIDIA. Who the hell's NVIDIA? I mean, you're Intel, for crying out loud." And they're like, "I know, we're trying to restructure." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you're restructuring, but you got the name."
This just has some pretty interesting moves of late, at least, like, more down than up, obviously, but just it promotes good volatility, like the gaps, the up and down moves. It's normally a slug. It's normally just like tighter than this, and it's going down, so it's not good. But it's just to mention, at least, like, it's been a volatile stock, been a nice little tiny day trade
Go
here
back
and there.
further. Go back all the way to the end of the year. The thing was a $50 stock, and that's still not even a lot of money for the stock.
Yeah. Well, remember the kid we talked about this like 6 months ago? Remember I told you about this on Reddit? Oh shit, what happened here? He put his grandmother's
Oh yeah,
like will or whatever, like whatever she
Yeah.
gave to him, like into Intel, and like he blew up the account. Remember that? Remember I
Yep.
told you about that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's stupid people out there, unfortunately, and it's not to say stupid, but just people are gamblers out there, and you can't gamble if you're trying to consistently make this like a business. So, all right, we got 6 minutes at least, Fausto. 6 more minutes. That's it. Let's go back to SLXN at least.
Question is, we don't know when they're gonna post it. Sometimes they do it, but it could be at 4:15, could be 4:10, could be 4:05, it could be at any time.
Well, no, I have it right here. I showed it before. Like Tesla's 407. Like that's
407.
Yeah, Tesla's 407. Meta's 405.
Elon Musk knows the
405.
knows what his earnings are going to be.
Right? Like what? Just because he's got the in with Trump, and like you can get that like extra information. You think? Never know.
I don't know. It's a poll. What do you guys think? You think it's going to be? They're going to come out good earnings, bad earnings? What do you think they're going to do?
I got to figure more of that here on Restream for how we present this here. Let's see.
Let's do a survey. I'm just curious what everybody thinks. Do a poll.
You do it inside a live trading room?
Yeah, and we'll share it in the we'll share it in the cyber group room. Share it in the live room.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was trying to see if there was a way to set up the poll there. Let's keep zipping through our watch list here just before we finish up too. I want to see if there were any other good moves, at least for us.
Yeah, we could here's our professional room.
This is too slow. Tiva is just such a slug normally. It's like even worse than Intel. This was off bad earnings from this morning, but it might be a better short tomorrow. Keep your eye on Tiva for tomorrow. Scott saying DGNX flying. Yeah, it's flying. That's for sure. It is flying. That's flying. But this thing's got to be like category 20. This thing is going to get halted right now.
There's our trading. This is our professional trading room right now. For anyone who wants to see what's going on, there's a stock that they're looking at right now. Just kind of share it. By the way, if you want to get into this trading room, if you're watching on YouTube, just take your phone. You got in the top left-hand corner. Just scan that QR code. I see some of you already clicked on it already. If you want to come and join us, just click on it. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live demonstration exactly how we trade and how we find these stocks. So make sure you register for it. All you got to do is, once again, just click on that QR code. All right.
And if you're not as tech savvy, if you don't really know the camera, the QR, you should. But if you don't, go right down to the bottom. You got that scrolling banner on the bottom there in green, ctu.co/trial. Short link right there. Take you right to the same webpage. All right, so let me ask you, Fausto, because I was like kind of squinting my eyes looking at the screen here, just with the positions I got. You are in FTAI, right?
Yeah, it's down. I mean, I own it all the way down at like 86 or something, like 85.
All right, so that's still doing all right. It had a strong downwick today. That might snap back up tomorrow and fill that gap you're talking about.
I got that. I got out of the Boeing early this morning when I saw it trending down. I was doing good on RTX. Now took a little bit of a hit right now. I mean, a lot of swing trades doing pretty well. IBIT, I'm doing pretty good. Palantir, I'm doing really well. Palantir, let me tell you, if that gets past this 80, this thing is going to be like a rocket. That's looking pretty good.
There we go.
I did jump into, I think I jumped in a little too soon, but all the nuclear stocks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have even, from the back of my head, you said that just point blank this morning.
Yeah, the
TSLA
9.
and SMR.
I jumped in 9. I think I own it at 38, 37.80, something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, they were doing good this morning, so probably see them continue to move up this week and over time. Got this big gap here too on SMR.
All right, less than a minute. So nothing's going to happen in the market right now with any stock until these earnings come out.
Yeah, 2 minutes till the close, but then you got like 5 or 7 minutes. We'll figure things out from there.
I don't know if I want to do a slingshot.
Apple's having a good close today. I put that on our list because, like, we always preach, like, you want to have a stock at the highs, at least there. And it's not up like a lot percentage-wise. It's actually just now getting break even. But nice close on Apple, at least.
I'm going to put a limit order at 334.
See, for Microsoft?
No, on Tesla.
On Tesla. They're also expensive. I get them mixed up.
You know how they do that big slingshot?
Yeah. Oh, I remember this from the last time we didn't do the stream, but I remember one time you were talking about this.
And it just missed me.
Yeah.
It just missed me.
What was the price that you said?
I put it at 336. If I get filled, I'll just get out right away. But is that a good number? Yeah, right around there. So it's a lot of support levels going back in November.
Here we go. Market just closed up right now. So, hey, if you're inside our live trading room, how about this? I mean, and Fausto, do you want to stick on the mic in the room, or you want to just kind of just keep the YouTube?
We'll get everyone moving into the move into YouTube because we got to shut down the room. There's a link.
Yeah, if you want to stick on with us, folks, we're going to just be on YouTube. We've been simulcasting the whole time. If you're on YouTube, stay put. Don't go anywhere. We're going to continue up until 4:15, 4:30, but
Yeah, because we're showcasing the webcast and everything else. So everyone, if you're in a cyber group room trading room, just log out and just click on the YouTube.
Yep, exactly. And we'll stick on YouTube here coming up.
All right, just mute that. There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
So I have an idea. I didn't have the template set up yet, but it takes 2 seconds.
Ooh, smacking Microsoft.
Already? Oh, shoot. I was saying, come on, give me a little second of wait here. I'm trying to get my charts ready.
That was quick.
And,
there's a slingshot on that one at 125.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Look at that drop. Holy smokes. That's only down 4%. So it just looks huge, but down 4%.
Am I seeing any orders out there in after hours?
Oh, shit.
Nothing. Oh, well, very little. That's a slingshot right there at 125. That was a pretty good buy right there on Microsoft if you got it there. If it does break it, just get out. No, does not look good. I'm getting a lot of reds coming in right now. A lot of bleeding.
Bookmap right now from Microsoft. Well, we were saying before, like at least it was on Meta, not Microsoft, but
412 might be a buy.
There, so like 400. There's got to be something good.
412 is a good. 412 is a pretty big support levels.
Right here on my screen. I mean, yeah, 410. There was something building right before the market closed up. I'm getting a little something there. 400. Now, did they even give the numbers out yet? I'm going to check Benzinga right now just to see like if they actually gave the real numbers. This might just
Benzinga sometimes delayed. It's not Bloomberg. Did it come up on Benzinga? Probably not.
Well, I'll tell you what, Microsoft conference call is not until 5:30. We're not going to be sticking around for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't even give the numbers out yet. I don't see the numbers out yet for Microsoft, so once they're out, we'll get them. So this might just be an overreaction. This might just be kind of like a little shakeout first, perhaps. Let's go over to Meta next. Meta not doing anything yet. That's like, again, we're expecting them out at 405. So,
by the way, if anybody's watching, take your phone. You got the QR code. I see a bunch of you guys registering right now. We're live every single day. And tomorrow I got a big free workshop. If you want to learn how we trade these stocks and find the orders, you could just take your phone or just go to ctu.co/trial. You got the link up there. And you guys can always register. We usually start around 7:30 in the morning and we run up about 4:30. So we're here all day. There's just a once a month that we do showcase.
All right, so we got some earnings coming out here. It looks like Microsoft just gave out their numbers right now. This is Tesla. Tesla did just pull back, but this is the official number so far. Their earnings beat and their sales beat. So there's definitely more aside from that. Maybe this is an overreaction, or Fausto, like you brought up earlier this week, like about their projections. Maybe their guidance is low or something. But
it's about their projections.
Yeah,
it's always coming out projections. Meta didn't come out. When's Meta coming out?
Got to be soon. Like they did say 405 or so for Meta. So
Tesla got pretty volatile all of a sudden.
That might have leaked. That may have just came out right now. Let's see. I don't have any numbers out for Tesla yet, though.
Down 20 points. It definitely leaked. It's dropping right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now here on the heat map for Tesla, we had support at 380. We saw that actually earlier. It's already breaking below it, chipping around it.
I don't know. I have an order out there at 336. I don't know if I'll get a slingshot. It looks like it's getting close.
Big red ball just came in here, 19,000.
So Microsoft is holding here pretty strong. Meta, here comes Meta.
Oh, yeah. Meta's starting to roll over.
Meta's starting to tank.
This is not good, Fausto, for the whole market, it seems, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the SPY is dipping a little bit just in lieu of, Mag 7s dropping, but.
Ooh! That is really coming down hard.
Oh, wow. Look at the ladder. Look at the ladder right now on Tesla.
Oh, we're getting a ladder on it?
Yeah, look at this huge fat sell order out there, 112,000, pushing this thing down. Oh my God, it's right there. It's on our screen showing here for all of us joining us. So, hey, this is what we, like Fausto said just a second ago, we show this in our trading room, the trading floor each and every day. We teach this in our classes. You got to learn before you could earn. But, Bill and Grant and Joey here joining us, and a bunch of us that are inside our room normally as students. So,
I don't know if this thing's doing a slingshot or it's just tanking. Tesla's really coming down hard.
I mean, look at this order here. It says this thing's tanking, I think. Tesla numbers did just officially come out.
You see how delayed it is? That's the big difference. By that for some of you here, like, know what the difference is. Like, you think like, oh, all these companies that give out news like a Benzing or whatever. No, the real one is Bloomberg, but you got to pay it's like $1,000, $2,000 a month for it. That's a difference of, I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, at least you got to know when they're coming out. So, if you don't know when they're coming out to begin, then.
But you said it was coming out at 4:06. It's not 4:06, 4:07. It's really came out like.
Yeah, well, yeah, they could have leaked there at least. It could have leaked initially.
No, that's what I'm saying. They probably leaked it earlier. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't know when they come. Sometimes they even delay. They're like, they didn't come out. Why didn't they open it up yet? It says come out at a certain time. Is it bouncing here?
I want to see on the Microsoft, was it also the guidance though? Because like that spiked down a lot at first there, right?
Got a slingshot on the Meta. Yep, that was a slingshot. See how it dropped all the way down to around 62? It just popped 10 points. That's a slingshot.
Let me get that showing there for a second. I don't see anything additional on Microsoft just yet. Obviously, there's going to be more to come out, but it would normally just say point blank if they lowered guidance. So, they beat their estimates. Maybe it's an overblown reaction. Or maybe there is something coming out. I mean, Tesla missed. So between the miss plus this fat sell order out there, that's not good.
Yeah.
That ain't good for Tesla.
He's still out there.
Wealth Revolution joining us here today on YouTube. Welcome aboard, and hope to see you on our streams down the line inside our live trading room too, trading floor. Did they actually miss? Yeah, the Tesla one did. Tesla one missed right there. It just showed. I just copied pasted. So their EPS missed, their sales missed, but you never know. That's only a metric. There's guidance like Fausto brought up before. Let's talk about different products, things ahead. Tesla, obviously, the thing with them and like Rivian too, even just is the estimates on their deliveries, right? The EV deliveries. So they don't always announce that within the earnings calls. They actually did that like a month back, I think, right? A month or two back. That's kind of separate. So it could always be news that comes out that can have the stock spike up. Tesla's
getting close to its big order at 100,000 at 676. Nice little bounce. It's almost, that's a 10-point bounce.
I'm just going to go over to the long-term chart just for Tesla here.
I think Microsoft is for real right now. Like, you're seeing the trend on it right now. It's like it's kind of hovering here.
So we were talking about this before you jumped on. I guess it wicked down here like a month ago on Tesla, 372 and change. It's trying to, I mean, it went lower below there first, but if it can try and build more support from here coming up, there could be a move ahead, but again, they missed their earnings. So how bullish really are you off the headline? Usually bullish long term, it shouldn't matter because this would be good for you as a discounted price.
It's getting close to it.
Baba here on YouTube, and they announced a couple of weeks ago they missed on Euro deliveries. Yeah, so that's not always with the earnings as well. So see what happens here. Like Fausto brought up, it's approaching the seller here, 112,000 basically.
Yeah, Bubba, that's what we're really concerned about. Like, I mean, we're not analysts, so we can't. Even analysts are always wrong. I mean, they're just assuming, book value and interest and this and that. They're all really guessing. We don't really like to guess that much as traders. We like to see, listen, we're just the ants on the floor. And I mean, there's 100,000 share seller right now at 376. So I'm okay with math. But to give you the exact number, 377 times 100,000, just keep it simple math. You're talking, $37 million is coming up to. That's not me. All right, it's testing him right now, Josh, to see what he
Yeah,
does.
let's see what happens. I got a show in here. Let's see what happens.
I don't think it's going to break it. It's going to probably.
There's another company. It's like not as big as these, obviously.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
there
he
you
got
go.
built.
Look at the pop.
He got built.
This might be a head fake, though. Let's just see. Are they going to squeeze him out, or is this going to come back down?
That was a slingshot right there. 390 all the way down to 365 and right back up. I tried to shoot a little bit lower.
And that's a good reaction off the break of that iceberg. It's not like an instant pop drop, but you definitely need to see that flip into support if you're bullish. I was saying Microsoft beats and the stock has fallen. Yeah, we were saying that earlier. We were saying that before, that at least their numbers beat, but they might have something like with the projections, though. We'll jump back to Microsoft in a moment.
Yeah, Microsoft made a nice little bounce right here. Wow, that thing's really picking up. All of them, Tesla, all of them. Big, that's a slingshot. Both of them are good slingshots.
Yeah, and well, for Microsoft, what's interesting here is that like this popped up shortly after it started to sling. You had this iceberg show up on Microsoft at 419, I guess. But once that showed, it created that flattening out and going up more now. Meta is like a little wonky. Not a fan of Meta compared to the others in terms of like the volume. Tesla is like everyone's favorite, so that's like always going to be trading the big orders out there. It's going to have good spread still. That's always like one, like I see like students like Roseanne and Alex. A lot of our students inside our live trading room tend to favor Tesla.
Yeah, so far the Tesla and the Microsoft were the two best ones. I had the good slingshot.
Microsoft, I'd have more faith in it. If I'm only thinking about the headline, if I'm only thinking about like earnings and the numbers, that would make more sense. Like for me, SoFi, I got to look more into, but they beat their earnings big. And like I was looking for a swing on them at least coming into yesterday. There might be more to that, but that could be good for Microsoft where they just had this big drop, but they reported good numbers. So that would lead to a bounce back up then, right?
Michael did pretty well. He said he picked up a handful of TSL, the ETF, at 22. So you're looking pretty good. I mean, I would get out and take my profit. It's got a lot of resistance levels right around around 24. It looked like it just nicked it.
Here we go. It's coming back down right now. This might be the pop drop. So if you're bullish, you would need this to hold the support. If it's not going to hold the support even, that could be tough.
Yeah, IBM come out earnings?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, we're so hyper-focused on the others. You're right. Yeah, they did pop. Nice move, 11%. The one I was going to say, this one's cheaper. We traded this stock. It's not doing that great.
What's crazy? We don't trade IBM.
IBM?
Yeah, we never. I don't think the last time I ever brought it up. I mean, that's a hell of a jump right there. Looking at the yearly chart, I mean, that is a big run up. They almost came out great earnings.
Yeah. The last time I even thought about IBM was just back from the Jeopardy days with Watson. You remember that or no?
I like the commercials.
Fausto, you remember that with Jeopardy and like that robot that they had called Watson? It was from IBM.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the last time I remember even talking about IBM. Like we never traded this stock before.
We never traded it. It doesn't really go anywhere.
Oh, actually,
I mean, long term, it did pretty well. It went from like 169. I mean, it's up almost 100 points.
Broke over at 202 here. I mean, ever since this break, this was nice.
You know, it's funny when you look at that. It's a good perspective looking at it. When you look at it, it's like, wow, that thing went from 175 up to 250. Like that's a big percent. But we could show you 10 stocks, 15 stocks that went up 100% at a quarter of the price, even 1/10 of the price in a couple of months. You know what I mean? Like these are things that, yeah, long term it did well, but there was a lot of other ones that did a lot better.
Let's jump back to the others here for right now. Just the Microsoft intrigued me. Not really doing as much now. Probably people waiting now on the conference calls coming out, and like, it was probably 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah, that's usually a good time to kind of see what's happening, because then what's going to happen within the next 30 minutes, people are going to be like, do we want to jump into these stocks in the afternoon? So if you come and join our trading room, once again, because we're going to be getting off the mic soon, take your phone, scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner, or we got the link right there. And we're going to see, we get in our trading room right around 7:30. We start live. It's about 2 hours before the market opens up. So you'll see how these stocks will trade, because these things will trade up to about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And, you have the West Coast that's jumping in, stuff like that. So if we see them continue to move, we'll trade them pre-market. So make sure you guys do that.
Yeah, we're here each and every weekday, Monday to Friday, aside from holidays. But every day inside our live trading room, there's new opportunities. So, Fausto's live every morning. I'm in there every afternoon doing a similar type of meeting, but all throughout the day, we're scanning as a team, building up new opportunities. And if it's not the Mag 7s like these, of course, it could always be something like that. It's like flavor of the day type stock. Like I know you were saying you're in on the, as a swing trade at least, but they were really doing good this morning, the nuclears.
Yeah, I know they were. I mean, they're still a fan of them. I mean, the whole Trump thing that he wants to go nuclear is, the data centers and all that. They need it. They need the energy. They need the. I'll tell you, Meta went all the way back up to where it closed at.
Yeah, it did. Wow. So I got to get the numbers on Meta. I don't think I did get the numbers on them yet. I mean,
it's a hell of a spread on that thing. The thing's like $1, $2 wide.
I haven't seen any numbers yet from Meta. They had to have released them, but
think about it. It's a $2 wide. So if you bought 100 shares, you're already down $200.
That's where, like, for me, like, price comes into it. And I don't want to teach right now. We're about to jump off in a minute, or a couple minutes. Just when it gets this expensive, like you said, the spread opens up even more. So you're playing with that game more and more. So I was saying, like, Netflix, come on, do a freaking split already. Come on, Meta, do another split already. Come on.
Netflix, my God.
Like when NVIDIA did their split, I was like, oh, thank God, at least make it kind of tradable for us again.
I don't know. Netflix is not going any lower. It's still hovering right around this highs, close to 1,000. Never backed off.
Yeah, it's practically right there.
$400 stock went to 1,000 last year. Even then, I thought it was expensive.
All right, so again, we'll actually show this here. We're going to wrap up, I'm sure, in a moment or so, but just for tomorrow and tomorrow's earnings, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll stick around to like 4:15, 4:30. Before the open tomorrow morning, we're not going to focus on like as much of these. I mean, we'll see if they pop nice, but like MasterCard, UPS maybe. Then like big ones tomorrow afternoon, Intel and Apple. Those.
Yeah, Apple's a real big one right there. Visa,
Never know with Visa. Like MasterCard, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Everything
UPS,
else
not really.
Oh, take a look at this. Actually, you got U.S. Steel X sneaking down there at the bottom. What are they doing down there?
That's an interesting one because that stock took a big hit.
Actually, Fausto, you see on my webcam?
Yep, of course. You got the X back in the old days.
Yeah. Big shout out to Eli and Marina.
Yeah.
They did that. They got that from me and still lighting it up. Very nice.
And Ken.
What the hell, man? All right. I think on that note. Oh, man, that's funny.
Well,
all right, one last look here on Meta, Tesla, and Microsoft. So, yeah, Microsoft, I think, has a chance for a bounce. I like with the headline. They're already doing the slingshot.
All right, traders. So once again, we're going to be getting off your last chance. Make sure you scan that QR code to join our trading room. Come and join us at 7:30 this morning, tomorrow morning, see what's going on, and make sure we're going to be, I'm going to do a big workshop tomorrow also about how we use some of these tools and how to find these stocks. So in the middle of the day. So join us for the week. Click on that QR code, get registered. And like I said, we do this usually once a month and people love it. But if you are a professional trader and want to know why I've been around for 30 years, plus 35 years, oldest trading school in the industry, 5-star rating on Google, most popular educational school with all brokerage firms. Check us out. I think you'll really, if this is what you're looking to do, you want to learn how to read the right chart, definitely go out there and, see how we do it every day. We're here all day long. You get to meet all these wonderful people that are in the room right here. A lot of them are in here, are students right now. So you get to meet a bunch of them. All right, guys. Anything else, Josh, before we go?
I did it in the very beginning, but like you just brought up, a lot of our members, joining us here for this, webinar right now, this stream. So quick shout out to some students here. I see still like Bill, great to see you here, and catch you back tomorrow morning. Margaret G, always joining us here pretty much every day almost. Of course, Leda here joining us. We had Grant just earlier. I saw there earlier. So these are all students that have been with us for a long amount of time, and they're there each and every morning. So we appreciate them as much as any, but we'll catch up with everyone at least going into tomorrow then.
Yep. Patrick's saying fourth quarter revenues was 25 billion. I wish I had 25 billion. Sounds like, sounds like a bill at the U.S. Congress right now, like a drop in the bucket. Big pop right now in Tesla.
And Microsoft too. Microsoft really going.
Yeah, Microsoft made a really good comeback. It was a nice slingshot at 120, at 440, 25. So you could see how you could trade in the after hours also on some of these stocks. But unfortunately, these things only happen every quarter. But there are these things that happen every day in our trading room. So.
Yep. So we'll be there bright and early. We'll be back tomorrow at least at 9 o'clock with our normal stream. Fausto doing that, of course. But we'll catch up with all of our students at least inside the trading floor tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and Bill, he's going to be on. Tom Sosnoff's going to be on the. He's going to be coming, joining us, my old friend, on the February 18th. He's going to be on. So that's going to be a really cool podcast. So if anybody wants to watch some of those podcasts, some of the biggest gurus in the industry, traders in the industry, make sure you'll see on YouTube. We have a podcast section, and we also have some really, really cool shorts. So if you want to sit there and watch it for 40 minutes, we got a nice little 60 seconds of the top of the best speakings of it. So definitely watch those. We're going to go, everybody. We're going to log out. We're going to see you back here tomorrow, 7:30. Thanks for watching, everyone. Last chance, scary QR code. Take your phone, scan it. We'll see you there live tomorrow morning at 7:30, 8, 10. I don't know where you are. Even come join us in the middle of the day. But there's going to be a lot more. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. We'll check out what's going to happen with Apple and everything else in Intel. So big pop right now. Microsoft, Josh, I don't know what happened, but somebody just came in and just bought a huge big order of it. I see right here.
There it is. Hey, they're the one that had the good earnings at least. So it could have been an overblown reaction at first, and then people realizing. So I mean, you say it best every day, right? You got to learn before you could earn. So join us inside our trading room so you could really know how this all kind of works in front of your eyes right here. So
all right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Take care.